All right, and the reason why we're recording this for you guys is because as we go, let's see here, what I want to do now is to take you to the different platforms just so you know what's going on. All right, our Benoon X39 YouTube channel, this is where we are creating, not only like in this case here, the video here where we're recording this video will be here on this channel, but we're also creating more information that helps you to be able to, if you're a distributor, that is, to be able to help you to know more about how this works as a business. But it also helps those of you that may be joining with us today as well that are product users that just want to know more about the product. So like in the case of the product X39 IceWave video here, we're going into the X39 patch and the IceWave patch for pain. And slowly but surely, we're intending on making sure we cover all those areas there, every product that the company has, because as we've used them and experiencing those, we have some amazing results there. We have the interview with Todd and Shannon on here as well, who've been in this. For those of you that are more into the distributor side, knowing how to make money with this, because naturally, if you have a product that's just off the charts, and then the company decides to go with marketing for the people to be able to market it, that's where you can really do well. And Shannon and Todd are a good example of that. They're just everyday people like you are. We are, naturally we have a platform. They don't have a platform, but they make extremely good money in this business already after only 6 months. And they're not afraid to tell you what they make. And there's a lot of people that are doing that. So for those of you that are looking at this for an extra income, you can definitely, you could do well with this. That I also want to share with you our Facebook page. And that's not our Facebook page. That's not our Facebook page. Here we are.
Steve, I can't see anything that you're sharing. Can you share your screen?
Oh, I thought it was sharing. Hang on, maybe something changed. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you very much. You can see, should be able to see it now. All right, so this going back to our YouTube channel here. This is where you can see the YouTube channel. I've only got 4 videos up so far. But like I said, the one right here, the latest one I loaded was the one that was actually on Israeli News Live as well. That's about the IceWave patch and the X39 patch. Then we created a Facebook page called Benoon X39, the LifeWave. That's the name of the Facebook page there. We just had 4 more people already. No, they've already got them all in there. Okay, great. So, but here we're pretty much, we can post more than what you can on YouTube, because you can post, whether it be videos, different testimonial things, whatever, just a way for those of you that are on Facebook where we can interact, share different things on there. I'm not much of a Facebook person myself, but we've already got quite a few people that did want to join in. So we have opened that up to be able to share things with you guys there as well. If you're doing this more, and this doesn't really matter, if you're doing this from the aspect of product research, things like that, or if you're doing it from the aspect of business, there is a wealth of information, because so many people have already now started using these different products. You can easily, besides the website itself, lifewave.com, you can also easily access information about the products. Like, let's say you're a product user and you're just really curious, all right, you started the X39, but you're wanting to know more about other things, because we're just getting started. So we haven't had a chance to put all these videos out as of yet on the different products, but we're doing it based on our own experiences. So it does take time. But as let's say, for example, you see in the company they have the Eon patch, or or they have SP6, and you're wanting to know more about those, you can look it up on YouTube, or you can look it up on Facebook and just get a better idea of what those products are, what they can do to benefit you, etc. Now I'm going to stop talking here, give it over to Yana for a little bit, because she had me put up several different things here that we're going to look at, and she's going to talk about as well.
Well, the first of all, I would like for you to ask questions. Steve and I, we continue to use X39 as our base, but we added more patches now, and we continue to have benefits, and it's actually quite surprising because we are having more and more benefits as time goes on. So one of the products that I like, and I'm going to replace, it's mainly information for ladies from my side here, okay? Hormonal imbalances and how we approach hormonal imbalances. Like ladies in 40s, 50s, and 60s and on, okay, the hormonal imbalance can be a real issue, and we know that the synthetic hormones that doctors prescribe are extremely dangerous, and I do not want ever any to, I'm just telling you, do not go with the hormone replacement therapy the doctor prescribes unless it's bio-identical hormones, and that comes usually in the form of cream or pellets, and you might be familiar with that. And me, myself, I was on bio-identical progesterone cream, but with that cream, you have to check your hormones about twice a year because you can overdo it or underdo it. And when things are not right, you just feel it, okay? So there is a patch called SP6. It's right here.
They can't see you.
SP6.
They're just seeing the screen, but I got it
Oh,
on
I'm
the
sorry.
screen.
It's called SP6 Complete. And I just started using that, and I discontinued the bioidentical cream because this patch does not put hormones in your body. What it does, it just uses communication to your body. Basically works on the same base as X39, but with a different wave of light, okay? And what it does, it induces your own body to balance itself hormonally. And I was watching another practitioner, health practitioner, who was using that product, and her hormones are balanced naturally. She could discontinue even her bioidentical hormones, and she's just feeling great. So this is, I just ordered it. It's my third day that I'm using it. I'm using it for the third day right now, yesterday. Today I put on my third one. So I'm using it on a top of X39. I just use that one and Eon patch. These are my most favorite patches. Eon, SP6 now, and X39 is my base that I'll just never miss. So I just wanted to let you know that, ladies out there, because I know that hormonal problems are a real issue. So there is a help with that as well. Other than that, Steve, what have I sent you this morning? You can start.
I'm trying to figure out how to make the thing here go
And
away.
also, we would like for you to ask questions, or if you have any testimonies or questions. I know that this is after New Year's Eve, and I've been up as well with my kids, so I'm kind of a little tired. So the reason we're doing it is mostly Europeans, but I think that they just didn't know how to get on.
We have this
So-
one as well, the X39 and X49.
Yes.
No,
So that's just another, it's a ballerina. I thought it's a very beautiful testimony of that ballet dancer. So do you want to play a little bit?
Sure, we can play that.
Sure, it is kind of long, isn't it? But it's
Well,
like,
we'll play at least part of it anyway, so,
Mhm.
all right, let's go ahead.
Hello, my name is Ariana Dewing. I'm a professional ballerina, choreographer, and instructor. I'm so excited to be here with you today and share with you my healing journey through LifeWave. It all started in November 2018. I was teaching and I was showing a stretch where I was holding my leg in my hand. As soon as I let go, I looked down and I felt like my leg had fallen out of the socket. It was really strange. I wasn't in any pain, yet I could tell as I tried to walk, the leg just wasn't coming with me. It was almost like I had to swing my whole right side over just so I could get the momentum enough to use that leg. Knowing it was pretty serious, but not really sure what it was, I went to the doctor, and he had horrible news for me. He not only said I had torn my labrum, but I also had osteoarthritis in my hip bone. It had basically disintegrated the bone to the point where there was no way for him to even do surgery. Now, I was looking at other options at the time, and one of them was stem cell injections. However, ethically, I couldn't stand behind that, and I also read statistically that there's 30% chance your body rejects the injection. I didn't want to go down that route, and not being in any pain, I thought, well, I can stay in shape, I can keep teaching from a chair. I had assistants in every class, so I was able to do that. And I also kept training from doing floor bar, where it's basically dancing ballet, but you do everything on the floor. So I was really disciplined with that, because even though the doctor said there was no hope, there was no way to do surgery, and there was no way I would ever dance again, I was just determined that I would dance again, and I didn't feel like it was the end for me. So I didn't know what to do, and it was honestly kind of crazy when my father-in-law, who's an incredible health researcher, guru, you name it, people just go to him when they have any kind of problem. And he suggested I try these patches. So I wasn't really that excited to try these patches, but I also thought I have nothing else to lose. And so why not? I put it on, and after 3 weeks, these patches seemed to create some sort of energy in my hip. And I felt like there was circulation again. I felt like there was something changing inside of me, and I wasn't sure what it was. So 3 weeks go by, and I realized my right glute is firing again. Now, the right glute hadn't fired ever since I tore my labrum, because the labrum is the ligament that connects your leg to your glute, your torso. It's kind of what you use to rotate and everything in dance. So I was really excited when I realized that my right glute was firing again. And I kept training on the floor, and I realized, you know what, I'm going to start training standing up now. I'm going to keep going with this. And it was incredible. And so let me just give you a little timeline of these events. In December of 2018, I was injured, and I spent the entire year trying to perform and trying to teach and all these different things. And it wasn't until November of 2019 that I found out about LifeWave. So in December of 2019, after I had felt a lot better, and I realized, oh, my glute's firing again, I'm able to put weight on this leg, I'm going to start training, my dance partner called me. Now, I have a dance partner of the past 10 years, and he's one of the most incredible ballet dancers in the world, and his name is Edgar Nicolaian. And Edgar and I have performed since I was 18, and we love performing together, and we've been through a lot injury-wise and everything. So it was hard to be injured and know that we had so much going on. We had been very committed to our own training. We're always meeting up in the studio and rehearsing long hours, and it was really heartbreaking. I know for him also, because he had just gotten over tearing his meniscus. And so we were like, finally, we're going to perform again. And then I got injured. So December of 2019, he calls me and he says, how are you doing? And I said, I think that I'm getting better. I know it's been almost a year now of being injured and trying all these different ways to get back into the scene. And he said, well, I have an opportunity for us to perform in Switzerland. Now, one of my top goals of my career was to perform in Europe. It just was something that I had to do, and I was 30 years old on crutches, the doctor telling me I'm never going to dance again, and my dance partner is saying, hey, you want to come dance with me and perform in Europe? And I mean, of course, all of me wants to say, yes, of course. I mean, this has been my prayer and my dream my whole life. But at the same time, I don't want to do a disservice. I mean, ballet to me is everything. And if it isn't at peak levels, I don't want to be doing it. I don't want to make him look bad, and I don't want to be standing this time. So it was an incredible miracle
Better run the rooster
when
off.
I got on that plane in December and we performed. And it was also a testimony of LifeWave's products, because I had been slowly telling people about this patch and how it really had helped me and how I thought I was going to dance again, even if the doctor said I wouldn't. And, you know, all of that goes with a grain of salt when you're telling people these things. So to actively be able to be on that stage and performing was one of the most memorable events of my life. And had I not even known what was coming in 2020, the world shutting down from the pandemic, I would have never had that experience had LifeWave's stem cell patches not actually worked. That's just one of the many blessings that I have received since using LifeWave's products. X39 is so wonderful that I decided to try the energy enhancer. And I would do little experiments where I would perform a variation without it, and then I'll put the patch on my wrist, then I'll perform the same variation with it. I'll film myself. I haven't gone as far as to check heart rates and things like that, but honestly, I would love to do more experiments about how it's really helping dancers, because dancers, we're athletes too. And I think a lot of the time we just get kind of overlooked with the strenuous activity that we're putting our body through. But we have to know how to treat our body and how to heal from the work that we're putting ourselves through. So to know that X39 actually works, and to know that at 30 years old, I can have a whole career ahead of me because of the healing that has been done in just a matter of months. But something that even if I got this best surgeon in the world to do the surgery, that's still about a year that I'm going to have to rehab and relearn how to walk and all of those other things. So when I heard about X49, it was the most perfect timing. I had just finished touring across country. I was performing in musicals all throughout 2021. And at the end of the year, Edgar and I were asked to perform in Nutcracker in Los Angeles. And we were going to perform the Sugar Plum Fairy and Cavalier Pas de Deux, which is, if you know the Nutcracker or ballet, it's about 15 minutes. It's very strenuous and it's very beautiful, but it's not something that you just go out and do. We had been working months and months for this performance. So when I told him about X39, and then X49 was supposedly a performance enhanced patch that really works well with X39, I was super excited. So it was kind of funny. Under our costumes in Nutcracker, we had all these patches. We had the energy one, X39, X49. And I didn't want to know what it would be like without those patches, because I just felt a sense of clarity. My stamina felt amazing. And I just felt like I had an edge that I had never had before in my performing. So I'm so thrilled to share this with other dancers and athletes, because I think it's something that sounds almost like it's too good to be true. But it's not. I'm living proof. And I just want to say thank you so much, LifeWave, for really giving me my career back. And I don't think I would be dancing today without X39 and the blessings that come with those patches. So thank you.
That was so nice.
That's amazing,
Really.
right?
And
Absolutely.
Nutcracker is a beautiful ballet, by the way.
It is, and I do want to take, I want to share with you guys real quick as well. I actually have a testimony to go with the testimonials we're getting already on the X39, and I'll turn the camera on so I can kind of share that with you guys. I had got diagnosed here end of last year. I'd already had a gallbladder that was packed with stones that they'd found a couple of years ago. And then something went seriously wrong with my digestive system. And when I say seriously wrong, I'm talking about totally shutting down. If I ate, nothing would move. Everything would just get stuck. Nothing would move.
Swell up.
It was unbelievably bad. I had to go to the emergency room. And I eventually, after they did all these different tests and stuff that got done on me, my stomach lining was gone. The pancreas had become overreactive, leaky gut. The gallbladder also was overactive. And literally, they could tell when I would eat, it would just all get stuck. Nothing would move. I had to take, there is a natural, I used a natural cleanse just to keep the bowels, to make them move. I had to take 8 of those a day. You're only supposed to take 1. I had to take 8. 5 at night, 3 in the morning. If I did not do that, I couldn't eat at all. The bloating that I had was enormous. As soon as I ate, didn't matter what I ate, it didn't it didn't matter if it was gluten-free, nothing mattered. Everything was stuck. The swelling just, I would look like I literally swallowed a watermelon. And it was like that constantly. And there's just like nothing that could be done because the stomach lining is gone. And then, of course, all the other things are happening at the same time. So it's just really, it created a problem that I just didn't know what was going to be done about it. When I started X39, I didn't really start X39 because of the stomach issue. I started it because of the back issue. And but I did in the back of my mind think, well, if it's stem cells, and naturally the body knows where the biggest problem is, so those baby stem cells that get activated by the patch my stem cells are gonna go look for where the biggest problem is, and oddly enough, that's where they went. They went to the digestive area. And I did not realize that it was actually working until just recently. I'd started noticing a little bit of difference, kind of like what the ballerina lady was saying. You start noticing something seems to be a little bit different. And then the next thing I knew is that it's almost like overnight, or like within a couple of days, suddenly taking the amount of colon cleanse medicine to keep things moving was the worst thing I could do. So I had to immediately start cutting way back real rapidly, because if I didn't, it's just like the water hose was turned on. I'm like, what in the world is going on?
You're very
Right?
open.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's funny.
So I dropped all the way back down to only 3. I had to go from 8 in a day down to 3, and still nothing would slow down. I'm like, and I mentioned the other day on the video we did, I said, I'll know in a couple of days if this has actually healed my entire digestive system. And I don't doubt that it's not still doing more work, but what it was I was down to 2, still wasn't slowing anything down. Went down to 1, didn't slow anything down. And then I made the mistake, well, just in case, I'll do it again, take a couple of extra. Oh, that was a mistake. And then finally I went to 0, taking nothing. Now the body was balancing properly, and I don't have to take any kind of medication for the digestive system at all.
Yeah, that's
Everything
amazing,
is
actually.
working the way it's supposed to work. All right, we do have a question. We got a hand raised up. Go right ahead. MJL, you can unmute your mic, ask away.
Oh, I was applauding. That's
Oh.
awesome.
Yes.
I was clapping for you, Steve. That is so
Thank you.
exciting. Yeah.
It
Yes.
is. I mean,
That's on top of all these other things that are happening, but we are now so regular with these patches, and we got extra patches that we are using on top of X39, and our I'm not into pharma drugs. I mean, Steve had to be on hydrocodone, which is cut down to enormously low amount right now. But I hate pharmaceutical drugs because I know they don't cure anything. Even though big pharma owns the word cure, they're the only ones who can say that. They really don't cure anything. They control symptoms, and then they cause a lot of side effects, and people are actually getting worse and worse and worse. Proof is in a pudding. Look at people with these X39 testimonies, like even every one of you, when you wrote us an email, the world is enormously sick. everyone is sick. Everyone has enormous problems, and drugs are not helping, and doctors are not helping anything.
Right.
So that's a major problem. So we always chose the natural cures over the drugs. And even with that, when you go into supplement industry, you find out some of them just don't work or have arsen in them, or you have to watch where they are made, how they are made, were they irradiated, are they really strong, it's a good company, bad company, really gotta watch. And then for every problem, we will take supplements. And I'm telling you, my kitchen counter was full of all kinds of supplements. I mean,
Hundreds.
when we were traveling, I had one entire bag of supplements, just threw it in a bag and take the
Right.
whole bag because of, we have to take all these
Yeah, and I was given,
supplements.
I was given everything you could think of over this digestive
digestion.
thing. And I did it faithfully over a month, nothing.
Nothing. It was just
Not-
not
it
touching it.
didn't-
And
Yeah,
I was so distraught because I'm trying to help him as well. So we took him to a specialist on top of what I already knew. And of course, he made us buy all kinds of 6 kinds of supplements for Steve. And each one, imagine, is 40 to 60 to $80, right? Yeah. So, you spend all kinds of money like that, and then still it doesn't work. And so
I did it faithfully for over a month and not one change. And so
Yeah.
I just stopped, and I'd been stopped for a couple of months, just still, and the only thing I knew to do is I knew the natural cleanse that I had would at least allow me to survive. But the problem is that there was no cure in sight. And it's like, what are you gonna do? Where are you gonna, what's gonna be the end game with this?
yeah, he couldn't eat it all.
Um,
It was really
Yeah,
difficult.
it was
Um,
very bad.
So basically, we are now only doing patches, and we are doing vitamin C, which is liposomal vitamin C and B complex. These are the only things we are doing. And I'm at the point now when, I was very bad off for 2 years, and I'm not even speaking a lot right now of what it has done for me, because I'm kind of private person. It's hard for me to go to details of my health like this publicly, but really amazing things are happening with me. And I basically want to start exercising right now. And since I feel better, I'm catching up after losing basically 2 years of my life. And my very first improvement was in mental health, which, PTSD is unfortunately mental diagnosis that I didn't choose. It just happened after a certain tragedy, but that was my major thing. So I call this my daily Prozac X39. I just have to have it on every morning. I get up, put it on, and just go by my life. And he recently added Eon and SP6 for myself, just because I'm a woman of middle age where, you need to kind of balance your hormones. So, and it's really good for your husband to balance your hormones as well, by the way, ladies. So it helps him as well.
Yes.
When female hormones are balanced, right? The men feel better. But anyway, just this is my testimony, but I'm gonna give more as I'm observing my body, because some of these are really weird, very subjective things that only I know that was happening in my body, and it's really improving. And I just showed it to you, right? What happened on my foot.
Oh, yes, yes.
So
Yeah, because Yana had this huge, almost like a cyst, in her skin there, and it's been there for a long
In my
time.
arch.
Long time, in the arch of her foot.
on my foot.
And she'd have a hard time walking because of the pain, and she'd ask
Yeah.
me if I could massage that spot in
Yeah,
there.
because it was growing,
But
and as
yeah,
soon
it
as you
doesn't
touched it,
do any good. It doesn't, you can massage it all you want.
It's just
That thing
painful.
would not go down. I mean, and that's been that way well over a year.
Yeah, a long time. So, and I'm like, what am I gonna go to doctor, have him cut off that cyst from there? Well,
Yeah, she actually talked about doing that.
Yeah.
I said, "Ooh, that'd be a painful surgery," because I actually had a cyst removed from the wrist when I was young. So I know how painful that is. And so then she she said, I want you to check this out. So sure
Because
enough,
I
she took
just
her
found out
sock off.
yesterday, I went and touched it and it's pretty much
It's
gone.
right. You get subtle differences. I was looking at Edie, talking about doing this as a business. She said they haven't had much testimony as of yet. You guys have to remember too, for me, I've technically been on this 3 months. I can't say faithfully because in the first 2 months I was not as faithful. I'd go days without doing it, but still I was getting some advantage of it regardless. So for me, and being more faithful for over the last month now, uh, I've got 3 months into this, so 2 months even ahead of you guys, and now I'm starting to see the serious issues get addressed.
Mhm.
And some people like Lee's not here with us right now, but he got immediate results. A lot of people talk about getting immediate results from pain and things like that. I didn't receive any of that from X39. Now the Ice Wave patch for pain, yes. You have to really experiment on Ice Wave, and they tell you that. The company will tell you they've got very good instructional videos on how that works. But you have to experiment on moving it around. And it is true when you're taking half the sticker off and sticking it on yourself, and the positive, the negative side of that, and they tell you leave it on there for about a minute or two to see how your pain difference are. It's no joke. That's really true because I did it when I woke up one morning, my neck was real irritated. I have a lot of disc issues in the neck as well. So I took the Ice Wave, I stuck a little bit on there, stuck one up, didn't do anything, moved it over to the side because they say the clock, 12 o'clock, you put the negative on, then one right above it, the positive patch, then to the 3 o'clock position, then 6, and then 12 o'clock to see which part of your body. It's the reason why you do that is because the negative positive depends on what kind of flow of energy it is in your body is where that position makes a difference. But when you get the right spot, literally only within a minute or so, suddenly the pain is gone. You're not getting a euphoric feeling or nothing like that. It's nothing like medications that you take, like
No.
narcotics do, but it's just the pain is gone or greatly reduced.
Reduce like from 9:10 to 2
Yeah.
or 3, and that I only had to use Ice Wave patch one time. Another my success is in migraine headaches, and I've been talking about this on. I did not get migraine for extremely long time now,
Yeah,
which
very
for me
true.
was 3 times a week for past 2 years. So I just don't even think about migraine anymore. It's just not there.
Yeah.
And so basically, with Ice Wave, I only had to use it one time when I woke up with the neck when I slept wrong. And I know that's not like a serious illness or anything. It's just I really slept wrong. Well, you know how when
Oh,
you
that's right. That's right. You had like
Yeah.
a crick in the neck. You get the
Right.
crick in your neck. That's what she got.
right, and it worked for me for almost 2 days.
Yeah, the
And
those patches last longer. It's not a 12-hour patch. You need
Right.
about at least 48 hours.
well,
Something that
they
Brenda
say
said.
that it's only 12 to 14, but it definitely lasts longer. The experience of people says 2, and some people even get 3 days out of it. So that's how you can keep it on. But I definitely felt the hour when Ice Wave patch was stopped working. And pain came back, but very subtle pain, because by then I guess the healing was taking place of my neck, but
Right.
from sleeping wrong. But we were traveling to Atlanta, and it was like, I really felt, and I called my husband because he was in a different vehicle with the dogs. And I called him and I said, Steve, I'm feeling now exactly that's the hour when my Ice Wave patch is wearing out. So, and he says, do you need a new one? And I said, not really. The pain is not, it will just go away now. So it definitely works, but you do have to play around with it. And there is several ways how you can wear it. You can wear it on this part of your body right here. Right
Back
here.
of the wrist.
Always use brown one on your left side and a white one on your right side. And in that's mostly for
I'll show you too.
um,
I actually wear 2 sets because of the amount of pain I go through. I have on the left foot the negative, the right foot the positive. It's on the bottom of the foot, not actually in the arch. It goes right up there in this area here at the far end of the arch. There's where you put that. David Schmidt said that deals with the water that moves through your body, the feet do. And he said the thing about these patches, although they reflect the energy in your body, they do follow the acupuncture points of the body. So if you take Far East acupuncture ideas and methods and how acupuncture works, it works on the same type of ideas. He said, so if you put it on your feet and it doesn't help whole body pain, he said you could also add it, and that's what I did. I'm going to show it to you. He said add it to, and I don't know how well you guys can see it, right
He
there
has a
to
brown one here. which
close
he
to
calls
the
negative.
elbow. That's the negative. Well, David Schmidt said it's negative and positive
Okay.
charges is what it is. And the white one is the positive charge. He said these actually work with your heart, with your blood system. And he said, so when you put the two together, now I can go 3 days with these on. He said, when you do that, and I will advise, one advice I would give, when you're putting on pain patches, is I would advise that you do it in the evening right before you go to bed. Reason I say that, me personally, now I haven't heard anybody else ever say they had that problem. I get sleepy when I first start putting them on. For some reason, it makes me tired. But that, and I do it I've done it in the daytime practically every time. But if you wait it takes about 2 hours, that subsides anyway, if you have that particular effect with you. So if you do it before you go to bed, you don't have to worry about it at all because you wake up the next morning, it's no big deal. And normally I can't even crawl out of bed and even move because the pain is so bad. And when we talk about inflammation and swelling, if you put your hand on my back, you can follow my spine down. When you get to the damaged area, it's literally like almost 1.5 inches thick from swelling in my lower back, all the way down the rest of the way. And Eon, the Eon patch also is really great for inflammation.
Yes, when you use Eon with X39, that's really takes down inflammation. And that's when my, bone pain stopped in my body. Like I can walk. Sometimes I felt like 80 years old.
Yeah.
I couldn't, get out of car, like my bones started hurting, but that's pretty much resolved for me. So
You got a lot of
I'm-
quick fixes.
I really did. It's really changed my life, but it's not like a cure-all or that you never get a flu or anything. So don't think of it as some sort of, it's just really helps without
Well,
the drugs.
Right, because it's assisting your body, and that's the other thing you got to remember.
Exactly.
It doesn't, the patch can't
We have
cure anything.
something.
It can't
So
help
let's
anything.
people
with that.
ask questions or talk. Let me see what it says here. Mike from around the world has talked about how your body can be stimulated with no other things needed. I was not aware this technology was being made available. Yeah, it is actually a technology that's been out there for a long time, but big pharma, they don't want to advertise that because they're,
What
they want
she's,
you to use.
right, and what she's kind of talking about as well, Carrie, is that what Mike is talking about is that's when you're dealing with faith. Your faith actually has the ability to stimulate your body just like the patch does. The problem is what I've run into over praying for the sick for gosh, 30 something years now is not everybody's faith can reach that level. And we're living it. The people that really have faith like that are people who are in those third world countries where they don't have any other choice. You're either going to believe or you're just not going to make it. Simple as that. That you find a lot of times you'll find greater faith there. But even in those countries there, people not everybody has the faith there either. You can have every miracle in the world taking a place around you, but unless your faith can cause that stimulation to bring about healing within the body, it's not going to happen.
Well, Mike from around the world was speaking about technology that can stimulate. That's what she said.
Oh, I thought, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because even with glasses on,
It
it's
says
hard
that
for me to
aware
see.
this technology was being made available.
Okay, but he was saying
So-
that there is a technology out there, right?
Yes,
right.
well, it is definitely, and we're talking about wavelength of light. And we emit light because it's measurable with cameras that can catch your infrared light that our bodies emit naturally. This is already proven in
Right.
physics, it's proven in biology, so it's nothing new. It's basically phototherapy. What's unbelievable here that a lot of people have a hard time understanding how can patch help you when drugs, we are on bunch of drugs and people are tremendously sick, and that supposedly is scientific, right?
All right.
So-
Demani's is asking, and I'm sorry if I pronounce this wrong. It's very hard for me to see because I'm not wearing my
Do you place
strongest
this
glasses.
patch same place as X39? Damaris, okay, you asking
What-
about SP6? I don't,
Yes.
okay,
Okay.
okay. No,
The
the,
manners, you mean?
right, I put X39 either on my neck or below my belly button. And I put this one, you know, when my X39 is below belly button, I put SP6 on my neck. You can put SP6 also right here on this meridian.
Okay,
So,
okay, thank you.
yes. So,
Do they have, now, let me ask you this, because I know you've looked at a lot of this more than I have, I would assume in our website itself that we get, they have tutorials on where the different patches go.
yes, and you know, I apologize because it was Christmas and New Year's Eve and I got so busy. It was,
I think
you know,
Wednesday, maybe we should
but
go through the website to help people
what I'm going
navigate
to
it.
do on our Facebook, I'm gonna post studies about each patch and how they're supposed to be placed. And I will put videos of those health practitioners that use it. Now, the lady that I watched, which I'm gonna find her again and bring her and post her, she can help so much with information. She is in Western medicine. She's studying holistic. She kind of moved into holistic. She's using them even herself. And this SP6 has balanced her body hormonally without use of bioidentical hormones, which for me, that's very, very exciting because I am on bioidentical hormones, but you know, I never know if I'm overdoing it or underdoing it. You just never know. And you have to have testing done because you don't want to, you know, end up hurting yourself. So this patch is ending up to balance your own body within itself. And body is so smart to know how to balance and when it's enough, you know. So I actually stopped my creams and I'm gonna use only that because this is what she said. She had to stop her creams and she's only using that, which helped her tremendously. So I'm very
Is that
excited
gonna
about that.
be, because
SP6.
people don't see what I'm showing right now. I'm just trying to
Oh.
say, is this the right doctor here?
No, I actually have to, I have
Okay,
on my
okay.
iPad and I forgot iPad in my son's
Okay.
place.
Is this, are we
So,
gonna need any of this here though, or?
Yes, let me see. Well, that I just kind of wanted to post certain testimonials by doctors. People tend to believe doctors. So I'm looking for what doctors are saying. And let me see.
Do
what
you
I
want this
do.
posted on Facebook then, or?
Yes, on Facebook, because I want
Okay.
people to go to our Facebook. This is how we can daily kind of look into posting testimonials or whatever we find.
Okay, so we got
Yes,
that one
so you
there.
can listen to, there are several doctors that are highly recommending it. They are excited because they couldn't help their patients, and now that they're giving them these patches, patients are coming back helped, and that's basically a great feeling when people feel better. And without use of drugs, so imagine.
Okay,
Okay,
excellent. So we got that,
do
I
we
got
have
those two
any
there
more
posted.
questions?
Let me go back.
And be patient with them as well and kind of really watch your body for subtle changes. Because things are gonna come subtly and kind of unexpectedly as you do it faithfully. And then you start noticing, wow, I don't have that bump on my foot anymore, like that cyst that was bothering me. And that is amazing because it's totally gone. And
Let me say this too
Yeah.
about that. Because some people, they feel like, oh gosh, these people are only getting placebo effects and things like
Right,
that.
that's important. That's what I thought. By the way,
Placebo would, maybe that could be true in something that maybe you're really expecting, like the
Mhm.
back pain, where you know that's the issue.
right.
Like in her foot, though, you know,
I wasn't
she
even
wasn't
thinking.
even thinking about the
No,
foot, right?
no.
It just happened. And even like for myself, I'm so focused on this is going to work for my back, and I'm really believing for that because I did see that I can bend over and touch the floor and pick up something now. I can now take and uh, you know, I'm kind of lazy. I don't want to go jump in the shower because we haven't fixed the shower in our own bedroom. You know, we got a double wide trailer and we were remodeling and we just never finished our bedroom one, right? So the other one's in my daughter's room on the other side of the trailer. And so I don't want to go bother her side. So I'll just go to our bathroom where the tub is and I just lean over, you know, and you wash your hair. But every time I do that, I'm stuck. Literally, no joke. You bend over and you're stuck. And I have to hold the tub very carefully and I have to very slowly, carefully lift myself back up again. And I've been like this for years, you
Is it
know?
better now?
Oh my gosh, let me show you something, right? Watch. This is no joke, right? Oh, my shirt's not tucked in, now you guys know, right? Look at here. I can reach up under there, pick up that off the floor. I can
Steve,
bend
now you're
over.
just showing off.
Yeah,
No, he wasn't able to do that. Believe me, I was.
I couldn't do any of that,
No.
right?
I totally believe you. I think that's so awesome. And I do appreciate you keeping your pants on.
Yeah, you know, and listen, if I wasn't wearing the suspenders, that's the other problem. I lost weight too. So
He lost
no,
weight. Yeah.
that's the funny thing, right? I'm glad you said that because I took and stood up the other day, didn't have the suspenders on, and bloop, they all fell off. That's when I realized I think I'm going down a size or two.
And
So-
Damaris, I wanted to tell you this SP6, the one of other effects of it is that you won't be hungry as much. And the cravings for the sweets might go away. And which proves that your
Ooh,
hormones.
maybe I better take SP6.
Yeah, I mean, it will balance male
Oh.
hormones as well, not just female, but the sweet cravings that we get for chocolates and sweets, that's hormonal, okay? That's really
It ain't for
related
me.
to your hormones.
Great to hear that.
Maybe it is hormonal.
Yeah, but I'm on it only third day. I just recently got it because I listened to that health practitioner, which I'm gonna look for and post on the Facebook. And she was having amazing results with this. So I never removed my X39 from my regimen. I mean, I have it 12 hours on. I'm kind of afraid to remove it right now because it helped me so much with PTSD that's the one I had the really good results with. That I'm afraid that if I do, you know, that
Yeah.
I don't want to go back to that hell I was in. So for me, it's like a daily thing, X39, and I use these other patches just like on top of that. And you can wear 4 of them. Like you can have 4 patches on your body, no more than 4, because then the wavelength of the lights that, you know, different
Yeah.
frequencies can cause major reactions to your body that you would not want. I did that one time. I just didn't understand it in the very beginning, and I patched myself, and we got our diamond packaging, and we had many patches, and I just patched myself with everything, you know. And I went to post office and then Kroger's, and boy, that was a major mistake. So I learned it the hard way.
Now,
So-
that when you're wearing like Ice Wave and also the energy patch is a 2-patch system, that doesn't
Mhm.
count as 2, it counts as 1. So if you're doing 4, you don't
can
count
have
it
a
like
pink,
that.
You can have X39, SP6, and one more of your choice. Like carnosine is
Two
amazing.
more, because you can do 4.
Okay, carnosine is amazing for memory,
Yeah.
and it's very complemental to X39. So a lot of people do X39, and carnosine is a daily patch because it
Right.
keeps them very alert.
I was
and,
thinking
memory
X39
is
did the
great.
memory, but I think I was doing carnosine in the beginning, and
were
then when
doing
I stopped, I
carnosine.
started to slow down again, and then we found out it dealt with the memory,
Right.
so I put the carnosine back in with the
So
X39.
I'm just excited that less drugs for Steve because I was very afraid for his liver. You know, hydrocodone, you have to watch liver and kidneys constantly. So I was nervous every year when he had his checks.
Oh, she was making me do NAD,
Yeah.
to do
All kinds of-
glutathione pushes. I mean,
Right.
you know, even the supplement stuff that I would have to take, you know, the cost of all these
Mhm.
things.
Yeah.
And then when you take and you realize that you can replace it with something, you know, I mean, granted, it's not like everything is cheap that LifeWave has to offer, but when we begin to add up what you can replace.
Yes, like how much money
Uh,
we were spending on supplements and really, let me talk to you about turmeric. I'm studying functional medicine now, and turmeric is extremely recommended. And I believe in turmeric as
Yes,
anti-inflammatory. I know that you have to do a very high quality, make sure company is really good. And the one that's called Curamed is very good, but it doesn't help for everyone. And it was not helping
yeah,
me
it didn't help.
personally.
It didn't work for me.
Then I bought it for Steve. I made him to take it 3 times a day and nothing. Okay. So I was kind of like, okay, well, studies show it. That's all they're teaching us, to tell patients or clients to give them turmeric for inflammation, but there is no results. So Steve was actually on hormones. What
I've
is it
done
called?
everything you can think
No, what
of.
did you take? Those prednisone.
Oh, yeah, yeah, unfortunately. And
Mm,
by the way, the
yeah.
prednisone, we found out that's what destroyed my digestive system.
Yes.
Prednisone,
And X39 patch rebuilt it.
yeah, and that
So-
and you know, the thing is, because even my doctor, you know, you get these conflicting things.
We don't take
One
that.
doctor
we
was
don't
telling
take
me,
it no more.
you've got to do surgery. Steve, I had one doctor down in Orlando, a good friend of mine. Both of my doctors are all pretty good friends of mine anyway. I can call them on their cell phone, etc. And I had two doctors down there. One of them was telling me, if you don't get surgery, you're going to end up paralyzed. You already can't feel your left leg, and you know, you barely can walk, you know,
And he has no
and,
insurance. We have no medical insurance. So
right.
imagine
And
that.
then, but you know, and the people, you know, some of the people actually helped. I put the money aside. I was going to do the surgery, and you know, and so
And we
it's
need different
it still costs like,
different injections.
well, it costs more money even with that, but it's still, I've set that aside for that, you know, because that, you know, brother was kind enough to give to help to do that. But the problem is, though, I had one doctor telling me, if I don't do the surgery, I'm going to be in a wheelchair. And the other doctor said, oh my God, Steve, if you do the surgery, there's no guarantee in your case. You've only got a 33% chance of it working. And you have a greater risk of you being worse than you are now, because they explain all the different issues about the surgery that I have to do. So I was getting kind of terrified of the surgery that I would have to do. And I kind of knew from my brother. My brother, he died at 36 years old, but my brother, before he was 36 years old, had already had 3 back surgeries, and none of them worked. And he was we were pretty much the same types of issues. So,
Okay, we have questions. Eddie says that you see a little changes. You don't have
That's Edie.
yet testimonies, but you see a little changes. And I do come in a subtle way like that at the beginning, but whether you should start a business, well, it's really up to you. When it comes to business, first of all, let me explain about us. We didn't do this for business. It just came as a side effect. We were very skeptical with Steve, and I didn't believe it at all. I mean, he was putting it on me. I wasn't even doing it. And then later, when I didn't have a patch, I connected that patch was helping me. And I got excited over that, and I started using it.
Edie's
So-
also asking about the IceWave patch because of the pain that she's suffering right now. Because in other words, and I get what Edie's talking about here, because the question is, while you're waiting for X39 to work, to help your body, help those stem cells go to work, because they may be, in my case, they were working on the digestive system more so. I think they work on everything at the same time to some degree, but you may
Yeah,
have
but
it
they
more
go first to what is
concentrated.
more emergency for your body. That's
And
what
that's
they work
according to,
first.
that's according to David Schmidt, the inventor. From their studies, they know how this stuff works. And I think said it's like 14 years to get to that place of having the patent. So they did a lot of studies and
Mhm.
we've really had the fun of, not fun, but watching a lot of these interviews that he's done, the universities around the world that were involved, the grants that were involved. These were not studies that are just done because of some, oh, let's go do some little fancy little, I don't know what you'd call it, but real universities that were doing real studies on the technology, getting the grants, government grants to help fund all these $1 million projects there, animal tests that were done.
Hospitals in France did a lot of studies, so we are reading and
Ireland
watching
as well.
and we are reading all of this stuff. So we truly believe that that's a great instead of supplement thing that we can use
Yes.
to help our life and our symptoms and just generally betterment of everyday life. So whether to start a business or not, this is just up to you. How do you feel about telling other people about it? What kind of personality you have? Myself, I'm not a good salesman. I tell people when something works or what happened to me, but I'm not good at pushing on people anything. But
Let me give you a good example when it comes to how people naturally sell something
Right.
that you don't benefit from. We have always believed in liposomal vitamin C
mhm.
for helping people, whether it be for colds,
Still believe in it.
as well as vitamin C intravenously. Yana had a friend of
Mhm.
ours from Europe, from Prague, had a brain tumor, and he was only given, I think, 3 months to live. They flew over to here. He had 2 teenage daughters. They just flew here to the United States to tell us goodbye because he was dying. And my wife said to him, I can't guarantee you that it's going to save your life, but you don't have anything else to lose. And she told him about a clinic in, I think that was Omaha, okay,
Mhm.
that could save his life. And it was using high doses of vitamin C, like 75 grams. That's 75,000 milligrams of vitamin
And
C.
not to mention my own testimony
Right.
with that. So I
Yes,
have
yes,
saved my
3
life.
times a week, and that's why we knew too, because of Yana, we saw that, yeah,
2017, I had a tumor on the ovary,
Yep.
and doctors wanted to do all kinds of surgery, and because my family has that
Ovarian
gene, ovarian gene
cancer.
and cancer, breast cancer gene, they started persuading
And we
me.
didn't say it to the people,
Uh,
but she had already tested positive for the
Right,
cancer.
so the
And
thing
so it's
is,
like
what I
late
decided
stage.
to do at the time, I decided to completely ignore doctors on my own risk. And I am not recommending it to you at all. I mean, you talk to your doctors that make sure, that you do. And what I did myself, and I have decided to do juicing alkaline diet, and I went on intravenous vitamin C 3 times a week. I had a clinic in Orlando that was helping me, a nurse that was helping me, and I completely recovered and never went even for biopsy or anything. I just completely refused the
We
idea.
did the blood test ourselves afterwards, and
Yeah.
she had no more of the cancer elevation, whatever you call it. I don't know how you just speak it. But my point is
CA
in this,
125, yeah.
because of that, and then the friend of hers that had the brain tumor, this was like almost over 10 years ago. He's still living.
Mhm.
The doctors in Europe, when he told them about what we had said, because he went and asked his doctors in Europe, they said, look, we would like to monitor you then to see, but they said, you have nothing to lose because you're going to die very soon. When he got to Omaha, he was nearly dead. They were afraid they weren't going to be able to save his life.
Well,
But
they did other things too.
yeah, they did. It wasn't just the vitamin
So.
C, but there was several
Mhm.
other things in the protocol. But
Mhm.
the point being is this here. It killed the tumor. The tumor shrunk, and the man was able to live because of that. and then the liposomal vitamin C that we get from, you can order it online or go to vitamin whatever. We're constantly telling people about that. So especially if you're dealing with colds and flus and things like that.
If vitamin C
Amazing.
was an MLM business, we would be very rich right now.
Yeah.
Because we are telling it
Well,
about this to
and
people
that's the
out of
point,
love.
right?
Now, that patch happens to be a business opportunity as well. So we are telling you, so it's kind of like a side effect to all of this. So if you're ready to tell and share with people and start using it, and go ahead. I mean, why not? Why
Right.
don't you help yourself in that way? Think about it this way. Who are medical doctors? A lot of them went into this profession because of sincere love for medicine and they want to help people, but they basically become agents of big pharma, because what is put in their toolbox is petroleum made drugs. What drug interact with what, and then they get diabetes patient and all they do is insulin and more prescription medication, and that's all they have in their toolbox, and people are getting worse. They're not getting healed at all. They're just kind of keeping them alive, right? So until a certain point when it doesn't work anymore, and they're getting enormous amounts of kickbacks for prescribing drugs. Like I knew
Oh, they get
doctors-
vacations.
Exactly. So they're basically a big pharma agents, right? So, and nobody questions them. So if this beautiful product got released to the distributors and people can help themselves this way, there is nothing wrong with you offering it and getting paid for it as well. I mean, I
Well-
see this a completely innocent thing and very legitimate way of helping yourself financially as well.
And,
So that's how you look at it.
and you don't have to do it as an MLM.
And you're not giving
the-
drugs to people's body. You're not offering them drugs at all.
But let me throw some thoughts out here real quick. You got people that believe in the essential oils. We do as well.
Mhm. I use
And
essential
not only do
oils.
they really passionately believe about it, but they're in the marketing of those essential oils. And a lot of their customers are just retail customers, but if you join into it and you want to be a distributor, it's just, I guess it's multi-level as well.
It
All right,
is.
now, but they got something that really works. So it's not a joke, it really does work. And that's why they're passionate and do it. In the case like this right here, you don't have to do it as an MLM either, because they have 4 ways of making money. That's why if you just take and only want to share it with people that
Yeah.
want to buy the product, they're going to pay a commission to you for
But
that.
I do want to say you're gonna do MLM by default, because people will sign up as golds or diamonds.
They're
and
going
now
to do it
you-
anyway.
Now you're in MLM and you can't help it. Like that's what happened to us. Like we didn't ask for MLM, it just happened.
Right.
So it will happen to you as well when you start talking to people. So now there is a business side to it, and there is a point where people ask, so how does that
Yeah.
business side really work?
And the other thing is too, that will help you. If you don't want to do it as an MLM, you just want to do it, and people, and it doesn't matter if you're not worried about any big goal, there's a lady here in Tennessee. We were listening to her testimony the other night on the broadcast that Todd and Shannon shared with us there. And she makes an additional about $700 a month just within like a month or two. Little old lady. And she said, because of what it did for her and her husband, she became so convinced that everybody should know about it. So she just shares it from that aspect. And, $700 a month extra is big, big, big money for a lot of people. And, so the point is that we'll do that legwork for you. So
Well, we
like,
will
in other
help
words,
you. Now,
well,
I
what
can't
I'm
say
saying,
legwork for you,
what I'm
but what I will
saying
do is
okay, let me
you can
finish. Let me
send
finish this so you
send
understand.
legwork.
We do the Zoom meetings here already.
Right.
That's the
So
legwork.
you can bring them on.
So all you gotta do is just share, just send them the link and just say, look, I'll share this with you, if it helps you, I'm glad for that. And you can just do it more from the aspect of that marketing there. they can come if they want to do it as a business, and they're going to learn from the Zoom meetings that we're doing right here.
There are actually company Zoom meetings when you're really into the business and you want to be every Saturday, 9 o'clock Eastern AM on their company training. That's great. There is enormous amounts of literature, and within your back office, there is training videos and literature that you need to go look at and start learning. That's basically how we do it with Steve, because our uplines are not always available either.
Okay,
So,
Liz asked a question about, I guess some sample, let's see, let me see here. Does LifeWave offer a trial patch to try it out, the X39 here? Let me just, there's one thing I'll say about the X39 when it comes to trial. The problem is you never know how long it's going to take for that one to see how it's going to affect you. That's the only one that I don't recommend as a trial. Like, it will take and send out little samples here and there for people, but X39 is the worst one to do it with. And the reason I say that, even though it's the most promising and it's considered their flagship product, is because you
takes
might
time.
you might, like Yana did, respond very quickly, a week or two from taking it, but you may be like me, 3 months down the road before you get a response. Or in the case of the guy, the guy that was Oriental guy, he was nearly deaf. He had to have really strong hearing aids in order to be able to hear anything. He was 7 months, and he said if he had not done the 7th month, he would have never got his hearing back. He said he was almost ready to stop. On the 7th month, he got almost like instantly complete perfect hearing, and I think only in one of his ears. The other ear still had to have the hearing aid, but he didn't have to wear a hearing aid or anything in the one ear, and he had the same loss in both ears. So that's the only thing, that's the downfall. Now, if it were to be something like night, the night sleep patch or the pain patch or something like that, that one there, yeah, you can find out in one night if it's going to work for you.
yes.
Because if you put on the one for sleeping and you stick it on your temple, it doesn't make you feel tired or drowsy. You just put it on there and go to sleep like you're going to go
What
to
it
sleep.
does, it improves quality of your sleep and length of the sleep, and also REM cycle of your sleep. So you will get
Right.
dreams. For like people who don't dream, dreaming is very important, and a lot of people don't dream anymore, and that means that their sleep quality is really bad. So
Yeah,
that's what it does. It doesn't work like medication, drugs that doctor gives you, Ambien, and then you get like so tired. No, what it does, the sleeping patch starts rebuilding your circadian rhythm in your body, and everything happens more subtly and very naturally. So you can send out little samples, but what I recommend always that you become a preferred customer, you use them for 2-3 months, see what happens in your life, have a little diary, add extra patches, see for yourself, because the testimonials of tens of thousands of people are absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
right. And the thing is now, of course, the good thing is like in the case what Liza was asking there, is that you might luck up and be one of those ones like in Yana's case there, where you get that pretty
Well,
quick
it did
result.
take me about 2 weeks still.
So.
And then I didn't have it because I naturally became like active. And I noticed that I'm doing things and feeling better, but I didn't connect it to the patch that Steve was putting on my neck. And I had to leave Florida, be away from Steve. So obviously I didn't think about the patch to take it with me. And I didn't have it for like 3 days. And I started to go back into PTSD symptoms, and then I connected it. Then I understood, and I called Steve and I said, you need to either overnight it or come back quickly or get me that patch, because that's what was helping me. So that was my testimony. That's when I became really passionate about this. That's my medication for me.
Right.
Patch is my medicine. So that's my personal testimony. And at the time, business wasn't even in our head. It wasn't even
Well, listen,
idea,
quickly,
nothing.
before we end here, because it is getting kind of late, we've been on here
It's
quite a
okay,
while.
we just long-winded, I'm
But,
sorry.
is there anything else you wanted me to
Yes, I
share
want to
with
give
the
them that
people?
podcast. I want to give them, this is
What-
very nice gesture of that magazine is having an article where the inventor David Schmidt donated.
Let me share that screen with
Yeah,
people,
he
okay? I
donated,
just wanted to see what you wanted to do there before I did it there. So let me share this here.
Okay. Just we'll post this particular article on the Facebook, Steve, that
Yes.
LifeWave donates more than $1 million
No, $1 million in patches.
in
yes.
patches to help people. In which country was that? Hold on, it was
Let me blow it up so people can see the screen better, because they can see too.
so what I like about this company, when you think of company, and listen, I never was in marketing like that, so I'm not the person that you would ask about other companies or how you compare this or that. What I like about David Schmidt that he donates his product for betterment of people, you know, in a time of need. I liked his response to a war in the Middle East personally. So that was important to me, how he looks at that war. And I definitely liked the fact that you have a 90-day time period when you can return patches and he gives you money back. So this is very important to me as well. So it's a 90-day money back guarantee in a case you are a preferred customer, not in a case when you're a brand partner, then only 30 days, okay? So which is quite fair, because when you become a brand partner, you should really make that decision. You order your patches and give them to people, your loved ones. And, you know, that's what I've been doing, giving my patches to people I know personally that need them and they can't afford them. So this was very big passion for me. At the time, 2 months ago, I was giving them away. And
Well,
what
one
was
thing,
one more thing I liked about this company? Just supposedly their way that they pay people, binary system, and their qualification for being a brand partner is supposedly the easiest one of all the other network companies. And that's what Cox told us.
one thing I'll mention as well to you guys that David Schmidt, in one of the interviews we were watching recently, he spoke about why he chose network marketing. He was already approached by companies for doing television ads. This product actually was not going to go network marketing initially. But what happened was there was a system of events that happened through networking, not network marketing, but just networking. One friend telling about another issue, and this brought him to, and I forget what it was now because I don't recall the details of it, but this brought him to a place where he was realizing that his product would have never reached the attention of whatever it was
Yeah, if it
if
was
it wasn't for networking.
somewhere in a store, people wouldn't try the way
Oh, and
that,
that was the other issue he had
Yeah.
too. He said because of the advanced technology of his product, he said if it's just on a television ad somewhere or sitting in a like, let's say a pharmacy somewhere, Walgreens or CVS or somebody like that, sitting on the
wouldn't-
shelf, he said no one will know how to explain the in-depth information of what this patch can do for someone. He said, and therefore the product is just not going to get used. And he realized through talking to people and how that the networking of that information was causing his product to become more and more known automatically. He said, and that's what gave him the idea that the best way to market this product was literally through a network marketing type of event.
Okay, if you watched our latest video where we brought in Sister Brenda, when I sent her some pain patches, IceWave. She has rheumatoid arthritis and she had such relief of pain from her number 9 to number 2 or 3 which she's an artist. She was able to paint with no pain, and that just never happened in her life, even with drugs that she's on, okay? Well, I just got her, you know, then she didn't have them. She doesn't have them now. She's waiting on her order. But look what she just texted me just right now. She says, I'm really looking forward to having the pain patches. I was in so much pain after sitting working on a small watercolor project. I had to stop, take pain meds, and go to bed. And she says, I need to be able to do my art. So now she experienced these pain patches 2 times and what it done for her. And she's asking for it. Now she has no money. So we have one brother who very kindly is donating to cause like that. And he's supplying her with them. But these pain patches are on her, you know, to her way. And we are talking,
Ice Wave is the
yes,
one.
and
that
we are
she
talking
has.
about a sister who truly is in a very dire situation financially. So just to let you know that this is what we are dealing with, whether you want to be in business or not, you're going to end up being in business if you tell people about this, and when they start using it, and when you use it yourself and you start noticing the subtle changes in your life of what's really happening. Okay.
Yes.
So if you're interested in being a distributor, what we can promise you is this: you can let your people, because you obviously you don't know much about it yet yourself, study yourself everything you can. That's what we do with Steve. We definitely watch Schmidt's videos. The inventor videos are the best. So watch him over, and everything you can get your hands on, because he explains everything. Now we are reading a lot on it, and also we are willing to talk to your people that you sign up under you, and you can send them to us, and we will make time or appointment that we can talk to them, and then you can bring them onto Zoom. And within a few weeks, I believe that some of you are so much better salespeople than I am that you can become pros at it, and you can build your little business around it and make income, you know. So that's what we can do, right, Steve?
Exactly. So there's so
Yes.
much, you know.
Are
and
you sharing this? This is a great podcast.
I just, people can see it right now,
Okay.
and I'll just play one just for the kicks here. So, no?
It's not all of them. There is only one, I
Oh,
think.
okay, it
This
didn't,
is a
Well, here we go,
podcaster,
here we
and
go.
she is
But
interviewing a doctor. And, you know, it takes time.
Oh, I
It's
don't-
talking
yeah.
a long time before they got into the patches,
Well,
so people
yeah,
will have
things
to.
like this we'll be putting on the Facebook
Right,
page. That's
yeah.
what we'll do there, because we wanted, it's places where we can share material that's, you know, that we're coming across besides our
I sent you
YouTube
one
channel.
testimony was written. Did you put it in there? I wanted to read it for them. This one is, they have to watch that one. It's with another doctor. But
Are you talking about this
yeah,
one
let me
here?
see.
And
Let
I
me
actually
see.
posted this one on the Facebook page already, but.
Okay, here it is. You can read that. There was a 55-year-old lady that
I'm
posted
glad
her
you can read it.
testimony.
Trying to see if I could blow that. Oh, I messed up. No,
Well, I can if I have my glasses on.
I can't even read it with glasses.
Okay.
Oh, well.
So maybe our stem cells are gonna start working on eyes as well. Okay, here we go. So she says, I am a holistic healthcare practitioner and healer. When I began LifeWave patches, I was 55 years young, well into menopause. Within 5 days, amazing sleep. My head hit the pillow, and I was out and slept throughout the whole night. As long as I drink plenty of water, this is still the same to this day. Now, one little detail she's mentioning is water, and that's what I have to be aware of. You have to drink more water, because somehow these patches work with the water in your body.
Yeah.
And your your body is naturally detoxing. So now you have, with the patches on. So drink the water and electrolytes, okay? At least 1 time a day, electrolytes, and increase your fluid intake. Now she says, after 45 days. My skin resurfaced itself, increasing the collagen, what does it say, pliability, texture, very soft, all the way back to when I was 40. And within the following months, my elastin improved as well. After 90 days, pain with my sciatic nerve completely gone. So basically, it took her 3 months for her sciatic nerve pain to be completely gone.
Sciatic nerve is what's how you pronounce it.
Okay, well, I say it in European.
Yes, I know.
We say sciatic, so you guys say sciatic.
Yeah,
My desire to wake up early after a fresh night's sleep was at 100%. I was motivated and ready with enthusiasm to enjoy my day. Well, that happens to me with Eon patch already. I use at night. I have my day patches and night patches, and my night ones is Alavida and the Eon patch. And Eon makes me sometimes sleep 9-10 hours. I mean, it's really amazing. And here we go. My menopause, crankiness completely gone. I'm back to my Zen balanced emotional life. After 6 months, my lifelong allergic reaction to poison oak, which normally went systemic and literally looked like I had boils throughout my whole body, completely gone. I'm no longer allergic to poison oak. That is amazing.
yeah, because I do know that the people that
How
get
long did
tore
it
up by
take
that is from allergy.
6 months. I guess she's using them for a long time now. Also, my energy already increased from the early beginning, but I didn't realize how much it increased when the Christmas season came. I was able to host Christmas Eve, Christmas Day brunch, Christmas evening dinner, and ready to get up and go again this day after. This has not happened in 14 years. Around the 7 months mark, I realized all my symptoms from severe fatigue were gone. LifeWave patches, while it has touched my life in some great ways, I am more impressed on the ways that has touched and healed so many other lives, giving them also a new lease on life. It's amazing. Such an easy application that is not evasive. It has changed me and my life. I'm so grateful. So,
Yeah, so that's absolutely
she's also
amazing.
talking how she was adding other patches, and I am doing the same thing because I like the other patches as
Those I
well.
think we've already posted on our Facebook post there. Yeah, we've got her in there. We've got that one in there as well. So those are actually up and going there for those of you that want to join in and watch.
So
that.
anyway, do you want to ask any questions that we can answer? And when it comes to PTSD, you probably can even notice change from 2 years ago and now. It's not like 100%, but I'm 80% improved, which for me is absolutely major. And I am actually hoping for more. And now I have energy to start going back up and starting exercise. So I am looking forward to that. I'm going to start power walk and exercise. And my plan for 2024 is get into full health with no drugs at all and no need for medical doctors. That's my plan. So anyway,
yeah, I am a witness to so many things, Liana. Okay, we have a question. Go ahead. I think that's Liz, if I'm not mistaken. Go ahead.
Damaris. Sorry for
Hi,
my
yes. No, it's okay. It's Damaris. I just have a question. Before you're using the X39, I just need to know like how much water intake, like, to keep hydrated for putting on the patch.
They're saying like I would take 8 ounces of water before putting on a patch, and I will give you one little advice. We are all used to coffee in the morning, right? Like everybody just wants coffee
Yes.
in the morning. So, and believe me, I want my own coffee in the
Not
morning.
me.
But Steve doesn't. You know these coconut waters with no added sugar in it? If you
Yes.
have that, like your full 8 ounces of it minimum, and you drink that first thing in the morning as you wake up, you give your body powerful hydration and electrolytes, and it's just amazing. And that's what you do first thing before even your coffee, just coconut water. with no added sugar in it. And
Okay.
They do recommend
and then
that.
put on your X39 patch, and then throughout the day, just make sure you drink enough water,
Enough
about
water.
like 4 to 6 of these, you know.
It's not like you have to feel like you're a water balloon or nothing like that.
No,
It's
but just keep hydrating
right,
constantly.
because they said you'll feel
hydrated, okay.
dehydrated.
You will feel what extra patches do to me when I'm not hydrating. They dry my mouth out like it never was happening before. That letting me know my body is detoxing and I need to keep adding water. So I just make sure I keep drinking.
Okay.
Thank
Anybody
you for
else?
the info.
You're
Jim.
very welcome. All right, well, we're going to close this out because I know we've been here a long time.
Any
with you guys.
questions, Carrie, Donna, Lisa, Gerwin? No questions.
Okay. All right then. Well, we're going to be doing more videos. Wednesday will be our next Zoom meeting. It'll be Wednesday evening for the people are normally used to. And I will try to remember to announce on Israeli News Live for
At
people
8.
that are there
Yeah.
that do that. Yeah, that'll be the 8 p.m. on that one. And so and again, if you've got anybody you want to invite, if you're listening to this on our YouTube channel as a recording, you want to invite somebody, you can invite anybody. When we send you the link, forward it to your friends. Doesn't matter. Just make sure that they always know that if they are interested to sign up with you under your own website, because that's the important thing. So I don't know for sure what we're going to be talking about on Wednesday as of yet, but we are trying to get it more very focused in everything that we do. There'll always be one a week that'll be about business, but
Well,
product is the big thing for us.
Shannon, that they're kind of on both, but they will explain you how business works. If you have any questions about that.
And we have videos like that a lot. So what I like, because to me, if you focus on the product sells itself. Once people begin to try it, it sells itself. It's just all they got to do is try it. So we're gonna try to, and we want to take, and if you actually are already experiencing, because we have some people like Lee, he's already got an amazing testimony from it.
We need to bring him on. He's willing to. He just
We need to take and record some friends that are actually having personal experiences. That way you can share that with other people that you know as well. We'll be able to create our own video, maybe a 10-minute video of about 6-7 people on there and what they've experienced already. Because when we have our own group and people know from our group what we've experienced, that's an amazing thing. That's what encourages people as well. All right, well, thank you. Thank you for joining us today. God bless you. Happy New Year to all of you. And let's get ready for this exciting year. Who knows what's going to happen.
Do you have more
right?
questions, Damari?
Well, I love that. MJL, you guys are smart about how to know all this stuff. I don't know how to make all that stuff happen.
What?
All right. All right. You guys have a great week. We will talk to y'all Wednesday night. God bless you. Yes.